Yeah, hi friends. I am Dr. Prasanna Gadre, practicing as a sexologist in Kothur, Pune area for last 26 years. Well, I will be talking as regards sex and sexuality. And have you thought any time that why Mother Nature and Father Cosmos created sex in the first place? Okay, why sex in or on the earth? The reason is that life had to get inhabited, okay, to all the different 14 to 15 geographic and geological zones of the earth. And because there is geodiversity, right from North Pole and South Pole to equators, and from tip of the Mount Everest to the depth of the Mariana Trench, and from the coastal areas to mountains, and from ghats to tropical forests. So in order to adapt and acclimatize to these different areas of the world, that is geodiversity, nature had to create something called as a biodiversity. Different kinds of species and organisms is because of that, one of the reasons in the evolution. And this could be achieved only by genetic diversity, because the genes are something like a software and a hardware to change the different functions and structures of the organisms which could adapt to the nature. So the first reason is genetic diversity, and genetic diversity can be or could have been produced by mutations, but it would have taken many years for the mutations to create so many different types of plants and animals. Almost 250 to 300 crore years have passed where we have such a varied species and number of species, and that is just because of the sex. So in order to produce genetic and biological diversity, Mother Nature incorporated sex in our lives. Now for this, Mother Nature had to see that it becomes our existential and survival need, isn't it? Well, apart from things like oxygen and food and excretion, secretion, sleep and water, sex is also a survival need in one way, but one doesn't die if one doesn't have a sex, okay? But for the species to perpetuate and propagate, that is to exist, sex is very much required. Now for this, nature had to make this sex very enjoyable, pleasurable and gratifying, because had it been that the sex was very painful or discomforting, it could have just fizzled out somewhere in the evolutionary process. Another thing is that every time a person has a sex, the coronaries get dilated of the heart and a love hormone, that is oxytocin, is secreted. And nature saw to it that it also becomes a stress buster. So these are the different things why sex is there. And in humans, of course, it is not just for procreation or creation, it is also for recreation. It is also a stress buster, I said, and it helps in decreasing the stress. So finally, one has to ask oneself that is our sex enjoyable? Does it give us pleasure and recreation? Is it stressful, or is it helping to burst the stress? Is it giving a meaning and purpose in our life, and does it affect or is it affecting our existence and survival in any way? So if these questions are there, then we are there to guide the couples and the individuals to make the sex more meaningful, comforting, gratifying, pleasurable, and increasing the meaning and purpose of the life and existence. So remember, for all these reasons, sex was created. Thank you.